Jane, 50, female, wearing a stylish business suit, stands and places an ornament on a Christmas tree. The intercom rings. She moves to her desk. She pushes the speaker button.
Yes.
She's here.
Oh, send her in.
Hmm. She sits at her desk, reading through a stack of papers. Millie Lang, 50, female, wearing a stylish, colorful dress and large hat, enters the office. She is carrying a large purse slung over her shoulder, and in one hand she is holding a long cigarette holder with a lit cigarette. She walks with a measured, determined catwalk toward Jane. Jane stands up.
Millie, what a pleasure to see you today.
How do you know? I just got here.
But it's always a pleasure to see you.
It is. Had I known that my presence would elicit such joie I would have come sooner.
I wish you had. Your visits always brighten my days, especially around the holidays.
Millie Lang turns to the office doors and points with a circular motion with the cigarette holder at the door.
Is she the new one?
Who?
The person who sits in the outer office wearing some silly green hat with bells on like a court jester.
A thin young woman with a premature gray hair?
Yes, I believe that does describe her.
Why, that's Harriet. You know Harriet. She's been with us almost 5 years.
And in those 5 years, has she learned to use any modern technology, such as a phone?
A phone? Of course she has. Harriet is very competent.
Then why is it that she cannot seem to put my phone call through to you?
Jane sits down and begins fumbling through the paper. Millie Lang moves closer to Jane.
Why has she not delivered my messages to you? Perhaps your opinion of the highly talented Harriet is overestimated.
Oh no, Harriet is extremely competent and organized. I have your messages right here.
Jane continues to search through papers, avoiding looking at Millie.
I assume the messages were not delivered because you never called me back.
Well, you're here now. Is your visit to spread your usual holiday or cheer, or is it for business?
Well, let me think about that. Now, is there not a shiny sign on the outside of your office door, surrounded by some dried out circle of pine needles, that declares Jane Fontaine Talent Agency?
I would hope so. Otherwise, we're both in the wrong office, and I would have been reading someone else's mail.
And are you not the same Jane Fontaine whose name appears on the before mentioned sign on the outside of this office?
Contrary to what the mirror may have revealed this morning, I am her.
Are you not the agent for the 2-time Oscar, 3-time Tony winning international star loved by adoring fans, Millie Lang, the one responsible for putting your name on the shiny office sign?
Millie who?
Millie Lang abruptly turns her head toward Jane, pauses, and then flicks her cigarette over Jane's desk.
How amusing.
I'm going to assume your messages and your presence today are not about the script. Did you look at it?
Yes.
And what do you think about the part?
Millie Lang pulls out a stack of battered papers wrapped in bright red ribbon from her purse and flops it on Jane's desk.
Merry frickin' Christmas.
Jane cringes at the condition of the script and hesitantly picks at the pages.
What happened?
Mr. Pretorius reviewed it.
Mr. Pretorius?
Yes, he was not very enthusiastic about the part.
Mr. Pretorius, your cat.
Who else would I trust with my career? Certainly not some shiny name on a bronze sign who cannot return my calls.
Jane bends back some of the pages.
Oh God, why is it wet? And what is that smell?
Mr. Pretorius read it from the comfort of his litter box.
Jane jumps up from her desk and grabs a tissue to wipe her hands.
That is disgusting.
Actually, I think his critique is quite astute. He only marked the part you picked out for me.
Jane grabs more tissues and picks up the scripts, then dumps it into the wastebasket. Millie Lang defiantly sits down on the sofa, her arms draped over the back of the sofa. She takes a puff from her cigarette. Jane pulls out some cleaner from her desk and begins spraying and wiping down her desk.
This is what I must put up with for all these years? This is the thanks I get? For going all out of my way to get you this audition for...
Audition? Are you forgetting who I am? Millie Lang has not auditioned for a part since she was 7.
Jane stops cleaning and looks up.
Did a third person just walk in the room?
Jane tosses away the tissues and puts the cleaner away and sits down.
Millie, it has been a while since your last performance, and this director is the newest, hottest director there is in town. He's very young.
How old is he? 12? And it has only been 2 years since my last picture.
It has been 7 years since the morning of the Eleanor premiere.
No, that cannot be. I met Rocky on that picture and he and I were together for...
5 years. He left you 2 years ago.
Not left. We parted ways.
Yes, and he parted with a new Lamborghini and $150,000.
What good was that car to me? I don't even possess a driver's license.
He was half your age and a quarter of your intellect. Was he worth $150,000?
Intellect in men is overrated. Rocky exceeded in other areas. And yes, he was well worth it and more. I could tell you how he got the Rocky monocle if you like.
Spare me. I got all I need to know from the reporter and TMZ.
Some of that was amazingly accurate. Some of it. It all seems 1,000 years ago now.
In Hollywood years, it was 1,000 years ago, which is why you need this audition.
Millie Lang snaps out of her daydream.
That word, it is abhorrent.
And necessary. There is no way around it if you want to perform. What's wrong with the part?
It's old.
It's not that old.
It is a grandmother.
A young grandmother.
It is an old gray character. Do you really believe you can confine this much color to an old gray character?
It's not you.
What?
It's not you. It's a character, a grandmother. You're an actress.
One of the greatest.
Maybe the greatest.
Well, let's not get silly. It might be true, but let's not say it out loud. Hepburn might be looking down on us.
It's a part, and in spite of feline critics, feline critics, a good part. Don't be you. Be the part. Be the actress that I've admired for all these years.
What about Claudia? Why can't I be Claudia?
Claudia is the granddaughter. She's 24.
Barbara did it in Yentl.
Streisand was 42. She played a 28-year-old.
Yes.
You have been on this far side of 42 for some time.
How dare you?
Millie, we have both been in the business almost the same amount of time. We're both old.
What an absolutely horrid thing to say.
It's true.
The truth at the point of rudeness does not have to be proclaimed just because it is true. The truth is what is seen, and I look pretty damn good.
Jane comes from around the desk to the front of the desk and leans back on it.
You do.
I should. I've been dining on celery sticks and X-Lax for a year. What have you seen before you is dedicated work. I am a professional.
I know, and that is why you should do this part. When it comes down to it, no one else could do it justice.
You believe that?
The truth is what I see, and I cannot see anyone else in it. No one else can Millie Lang the hell out of this part.
Do you have another copy?
I'll have Harriet mail a copy to your home.
She can handle a stamp, I assume.
She learned how to lick last week.
Millie Lang picks up her purse from the sofa.
Then I shall go and prepare to be a grandmother.
Millie Lang walks toward the door.
On the positive side, I can get out of these Spanx.
How many are you wearing?
2.
You could even go to the Centers and get hot pastrami sandwich.
Oh, and potato salad. Maybe even an eclair. It has been too long since I've had an eclair.
How about a vanilla egg cream?
Oh my God, yes.
I'll join you. We can celebrate the new year with food, drink, and calories. It'll be like old times.
That would be glorious. It will be my treat as a thank you for sticking with me and getting me this part.
Just protecting my 10%. Besides, I didn't get you the part. That's on your end.
Do you believe I'll get it?
I have no doubts. After all, you are Millie Lang.
And you are Jane Fontaine.
Millie Lang smiles and walks out.
That's what it says on the shiny sign.
Jane walks back around her desk, sits down, and begins sorting through the papers on her desk. Lights dim.
Wow, that's some coat you got on. Is it new?
Yes, it's my Christmas present.
From who?
For myself, after this past year, I really needed something to pick my spirits.
Oh, I second that.
Oh, it's Hayden.
Hayden made it? Well, get him in here. I need another excuse to have another drink.
Sure. But you know he doesn't drink, right?
Are you sure he's your son?
Hello, Hayden. How are you?
Oh, hello, Mother. I'm good. Oh, is that Aunt Emily?
You betcha. It's great to see you. This COVID crap just keeps family away from each other way too much.
It's good to see you also. I see the two of you are already toasting the new year in.
Absolutely. No time like the present to celebrate the future.
Well, let me get something so that I can join you.
I thought you said he doesn't drink. Maybe he's yours after all.
Well, I haven't seen him for 6 months. Maybe something has. Hayden, what are you drinking?
It's a matcha latte with oat milk. Shall we toast?
Are you sure this kid is yours?
What? Why?
Pay no attention to that, Lush.
I resent that. I happen to be a person of fine palate. I haven't fallen asleep against the toilet in decades. Decades! I actually just said that, didn't I?
Yes, you did actually. But this past year, I felt like it's been 20 decades ago. And this New Year's could not have come enough, and a new year has been so anticipated. Let's raise our glasses to 2021.
That was fun. What should we toast next? How about the luxurious coat you're sporting? By the way, is that real fur?
Of course it is. It's mink from Denmark.
What? Real fur? Mink? From Denmark?
Oh, he catches on quick.
Mother, I cannot believe you have done this.
Done what?
A fur coat? A mink fur coat?
You don't think I don't deserve to treat myself?
Do you think an animal should die just because you want to give yourself a gift?
It's not like I killed it.
But you did. By purchasing that coat, you have sanctioned the taking of a life.
Oh, come on now. Last Thanksgiving, you seemed to gobble up quite a bit of turkey.
That was over 2 years ago, and I am now vegan.
Oh, yeah, that explains the matcha latte with oat milk. How do you milk an oat?
It's not just the taking of a life for fashion, it's the entire industry practice of confining those minks to cages so small they can barely turn around in them, and poisoning them with carbon dioxide before they're skinned, then grinding their poor bodies into dog food or fertilizer. It's a horrible life, horrible.
Oh, okay. So putting them off their misery and transforming them into breathtaking garments seems to be the most humane thing to do.
But if no one wore them as extravagant fashion statements, they wouldn't have to live in misery.
We're not talking about kittens or 100 and Dalmatians.
Yeah, the rodents, long furry rats.
Don't call them rats. Rats couldn't possibly look this good. Do you think it looks good on me? And it wasn't really extravagant. I shopped around.
You got a good price, did you?
Of course, you know my fashion senses.
And do you know why you got a good price?
Yes, I do. I just told you I shopped around. I got this directly from the dealer in Denmark.
It's because of COVID.
Oh, come on now. We need to stop COVID for everything.
It's true. If you stopped watching the new Housewives and switched to some actual reality news, you might learn something. Denmark's mink industry had been practically wiped out.
I don't understand. Minks, COVID, that can't be right.
A mutated variant was passed from humans to the minks, which mutated again and was passed back to the humans. They massacred 17 million minks to prevent COVID transmission.
That's horrible.
Isn't it? And if those animals had not been confined to those cages their entire life, well,
What did they do with the furs?
Must be some good deals on them now.
they didn't keep the furs, they buried the whole animal.
It's horrible.
Such a waste. Good thing I got mine before the whole thing happened.
Mother, you are wearing a dead animal.
And now you're linking. How are you liking those leather shoes and matching belt I got you for Christmas?
It's not the same. My shoes and belt serve a utilitarian purpose.
If you stop wearing leather shoes alone, you could take those shoestrings to hold up your pants.
Just hope you didn't get a zombie coat.
A what?
You guys really should try the news. It seems Denmark's latest issue is with all those buried minks rising from their graves. They now have zombie minks.
You're just making this stuff up.
I don't have to make it up. It's in the headlines. Zombie minks called over COVID-19 fears are rising from their graves.
There must be a practical explanation.
You just can't keep a good mink down.
Maybe they weren't all dead. Did you read the whole article?
No, I haven't had time.
Well, dear, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. In the meantime, I tend to go into 2021 looking fabulous.
And Chrissy, darling, you do look fabulous. Maybe when they catch all these zombies, I can get a discounted coat also.
I'm sorry, I cannot sit here. I need to go meditate or call my life coach.
I thought I was your life coach. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm called your life.
Yes, Mother, thank you. Enjoy your mutilated creature. It was nice seeing you, Aunt Emily.
Bye, dear. See ya. Oh, I still question his DNA.
I'm just glad he left.
Oh, don't you love him anymore?
Of course I do. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I love my son. I'm glad because I was getting so dang hot. I was practically screaming to get that coat off.
So why don't you take it off sooner?
I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of seeing my extravagance getting the best of me.
Oh, the charade. Tying my tubes was the best decision I ever made. Something else to be grateful for.
What is it?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What is it?
I think it moved.
What? What moved?
Your coach just moved.
What do you mean?
Sorry, Chrissy. I had to do it. I couldn't just let it lay there.
You're a sick, warped woman. The world is thankful for you trying your tubes.
I'll drink to that. Well, here's to a fabulous new year. It just can't get better.
Hey, Terry, man. How's it going?
Hey, good to see you. Looking suave there, Jakey. You growing that beard out again?
Yeah, I reckon I am. Ladies down here in the Big Bear, well, Kentucky, go for a man with some facial hair.
When did my big brother ever have trouble getting the ladies?
Well, I can't find a good one. That's the problem.
Well, what happened to Cindy? I thought y'all was good.
That one? Oh, she up and left me, man. Last week.
Cindy moved out? No way. What happened?
Well, she dropped me like a hot biscuit. She had the nerve to tell me I couldn't buy a motorcycle. I'm like, what? You ain't my mother, woman. And that didn't lead nowhere good.
Well,
It's my money and I'll spend it how I like. Ain't that right?
sometimes you got to make little compromises.
Not me. She knew who I was when she got on the Jake train. This life ain't long enough to take orders from no one.
I see fishing poles back there. You been out on the lake early this year?
Yeah, buddy. They're really biting. I'll text you a picture. You got to come home and we'll catch a few.
That's good.
Before all them Ohio tourists come down. Remember how crowded it gets in the summer?
I do. Hey, I sent little Roy a link. He must be logging on here in a minute. Have you talked to him?
No, not for a while. Well, he stays busy.
Well, he must know how to Zoom. I taught classes this way last semester, and if my students can figure it out.
Hey, if an old hillbilly like me can.
And he got my text. I know he did.
Well, that's little Roy, always late.
And he bought him one of them brand new iPhones, too.
Well, this old piece of junk laptop I'm on from a pawn shop, and even it can handle Zoom.
Yeah, well, what can I say?
He'll get on in a minute.
We all got busy lives.
Yeah, boy. Don't you know it? Today I sold a man this old bush hog I found. Made a good 300 on it.
That's your talent, Jake, I swear. You can make a profit selling a rock right out of the creek.
Just what I like to do. It's making a living. Hey, how's Daddy?
Well, most of the time he stays pretty sedated. He can get a little wild, but them home health nurses take good care of him when they're here. Meanwhile, Jessica's got her hands full with the kids, so...
He had any more of them spells?
Yeah, this old-timer stuff is brutal, man. And it's just getting worse. I was hoping we could find a good facility to take him. I wanted to talk to you boys before we did any looking.
Well, he ain't gonna like that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he threw a righteous fit when you took away his truck.
Yeah, I know. Man, he is a handful. Ever since Mom and the lake, he just ain't been the same since the accident.
Well, that did it. And Mama died. Oof. That started it all, I'd say. Since then, he's had a loose grip on reality.
Well, Jessica's just been a saint, all these years between the kids and Dad, and she's been tutoring some on the side to make extra money. It's a little too much for her.
Well, she's a good woman. You got a good one, Terry.
Hang on a minute. I think that's Roy. Hang on, Roy. I'll click you in.
Well, looky there. Roy boy.
Little Roy, hey man.
Hey fellas, good to see you. What's going on?
Roy boy's gone and shaved that pretty little head.
I'll put a hat on, man. You're blinding me with that shiny chrome dome.
How's my old bros?
Well, them Nashville women must be keeping you busy, little Roy. That smile still working?
No complaints, Jake. No complaints.
When you're going to come see us? Jessica promised to make a big dinner if you come up.
I'll do it. I'll do it, Terry. I promise. You know, the minute I get a chance, I will.
Nashville's seeing more of you than we do.
Just trying to catch a break, you know? It's imminent, really. I played a gig the other night. Just a bar. Some friends, you know?
Well, it's gonna happen, little Roy. You're working so hard. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
holy shit, who's that?
Oh my God.
Oh, I told you these Zoom things wasn't secure, Terry. Did you see that?
There she is again. What is this shit? You.
Oh, what do you want?
Get out of here, lady. This is a private room.
He held me under.
This is bullshit.
What's she saying?
He held me under.
Mama?
What the hell?
No freaking way. Who's doing this? Stop it, Roy. Is this one of your sick pranks?
Let him die. On this side, there's justice.
What you said. This is messed up.
Mom? Mama?
No accident.
I don't appreciate this, whoever you are. Roy, are you still there?
Mother.
Come back here, Roy.
Murdered.
Oh, what's she saying?
I think she said murdered. Well, this is fucked. Now you stop it. You're not her. I'm reporting this. I'm taking a screen capture and sending it to the company.
Mom?
Let the bastard
Mama?
die.
Is that you?
I'll take care of him.
What the hell was that? Was that Mama?
Do you see that, Roy?
That was not a fucking ghost, Jake.
Looked like her.
Well, I took a screen grab. I'm sending it to Zoom and we'll find out who that was.
She said he held her under.
Who? Dad? No way. Nothing there. There's nothing there. The screen grab. It's just the three of us. Now just the two of us.
Did you press the right keys?
Well, of course I pressed the right keys. It got a screen capture of the three of us. Damn it.
He killed her.
Oh, that's what it sounded like.
No, there's no way. A mama drowned in the lake. It sucks, but that's what happened. Happens every summer up there to someone.
Dad did it?
Mama.
This is some bullshit. That was not her, okay? There has to be a fucking law impersonating a dead woman. There's got to be a law.
Her, Terry. It was her.
No, it was not her. It was some stupid prankster.
Well, it looked like her.
Sounded like her.
Eyes?
You both nuts. She's dead and buried. Things like that don't happen. No one comes back from the dead.
She said to let the old man die.
No. We'll put him in a home. That's it. They'll take care of him. That's what I wanted to talk about, Roy. It's okay with you, Roy, ain't it? Jess and I, we'll look for homes to put him in. We'll figure out how to pay for it somehow.
I don't know. Whatever you two want, I don't know.
He just keeps going off the deep end. Treatment. He needs some kind of treatment.
Well, he can't just get away with it. He can't.
Killing her like that?
I can't have this conversation. If you're falling for some prank, that's just not right.
It's a lot of money, bro, these homes. Well, they take every dime. And they're a ripoff. And so full of germs. It's unhealthy.
Well, some are clean.
Some are.
More professional ones, well run, like, you know.
Or I could take him.
What?
I could take him.
Jake, your house is small.
Got more room now that my woman's moved out.
You know, it's a lot of work, right? Jessica's been run ragged.
Are you sure, Jake?
Well, I reckon I could handle him somehow. Well, he's our daddy.
There's medicine involved. There's quite a regimen.
Well, I can do it. Let me take the old man.
Are you sure, Jake? You don't know how much it involves.
Oh, I know. I'll take care of him. Let me. I'll do it.
You might enjoy being back home.
Yeah, back home, here. It'll be calm back where things are more familiar.
Hey guys, listen, I gotta go. Can we finish up later? I'll call you, Terry. I don't want this. I don't want to do this stupid Zoom shit again.
Yeah, sure. You gotta go. I understand. Call me tomorrow, okay?
Bye.
Well, what do you say, Terry? Sound good?
I just worry you won't be able to handle the old man, Jake.
Well, don't worry. I got this, Terry.
Are you sure? It'll take me a few days to get him packed up. Man, that means a lot to me, Jake. We needed a break, a real break.
Oh, I know, Terry. I'll take care of him. Call you tomorrow, okay? On the phone. Not this thing again. It weirded the shit out of me.
Okay, tomorrow then. Yeah, Jessica's going to be so happy.
Bye, Terry.
Bye. Bye, Jake. Bullshit.
I know we had a little rough start here, but like I said, it was a test run. Maybe things will run smoother next time. What I would like is if other writers want to bring in anything, so it'll be the fourth Sunday of February time. So if you want to submit a script ahead of time, post it on the Play Readers Facebook page. Not the script, but the parts that you need to fill, and maybe just like a brief synopsis or what do they call them? Not a slug line.
Log line.
Line, yes.
So are you doing all originals, Stephen? With this?
They do not have to be original. If an actor has a part that they've seen, like maybe in a movie or on television, and they want to bring it in to perform that part, and they want to share it with other actors, then as long as they can provide a PDF,
yeah,
all of the characters, then that can be done also.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to do Shakespeare, we're open.
Only Mary, I think.
No, I love Shakespeare.
So our first one, I've forgotten now. It was
A Very Merry Christmas.
Oh, was that the first one? Great. Okay. Anybody would like to talk about that? Very Merry Christmas. Who ended up directing this? So Jules directed it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and we were talking about just the general relationship of the two women and how long they've been together as agent and not only agent and actress, but also people,
Right.
like how long they've known each other and what they're bringing into that relationship. And then where was the rift? Because I think there was an obvious rift
Hmm.
between now when the scene takes place and at some point.
And I think it mostly has to do with Millie's career kind of fading. She's now getting into a part in her career where she needs to accept the fact that she's gotten older and she can't do the young parts anymore. And I think she's become kind of like a harassing client to her agent, but because they're friends also, and they've been friends for a long time.
Right.
He was still out there kind of fighting for her, but she has to fight with her too to get her to do the part.
Yes. Yes. And we found that with I think when I loved what Gwen, you brought up the word avoidance, which I think was really, really nice on that last read. And then Raina, when compassion for
yeah, I see Millie as this kind of, she's very flamboyant, very showy, and it's just, she's just not ready to be put into a gray part, as she says. Yeah.
Gray part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah.
I saw it as a good portrait of a midlife crisis when you have a successful person who doesn't know how to, or won't let go of the person they used to be, but they can't be anymore.
Right.
And so it's both touching and a little humorous and a little pathetic. And it was a good portrait of that.
Anybody else comment or?
Fortunately, I had to rush off after my granddaughter, so I missed a bit of it. So I can't actually comment.
Well, it is recorded.
Good. I would like to see it again.
I will edit it down and add the credits and then put it probably on Facebook.
That would be good.
Yes, open to feedback.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
I did have one question about the opening. It was never very clear to me why the agent was not returning Millie's phone calls. And I can imagine that Millie is just vituperative and swearing at her, blah, 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 but all of that was my imagination.
My take on that was that Jane knew that she was giving Millie a smaller role than she would want, and she just didn't, and she had given her the script, so she just didn't want to have to face Millie because she knew kind of what was coming.
Yeah, I think, as you said, she was kind of avoiding the fact that Millie was going to object to the part, and she knew she was going to, and she didn't want to do that fight, make that fight.
And I'll speak again also about just kind of sensing from, especially the relationship with Gwen, or excuse me, Millie and her cat, kind of sense that there has been that at one point the relationship was very tight and close, and at the same time there may have been either a mental or emotional breakdown of Millie. And so even though I care for her and I want her to take this part, I'm not understanding how she that she's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. And yet I'm still, and having that relationship, I want her to say yes and to get this role, get this audition.
Right.
I was also wondering if there might be just a little bit of a power dynamic going on here now that Millie has aged and is no longer a bankable star. Well, Gwen kind of has the upper hand, and she's saying, you're going to have to come to me. I'm not going to toady to you, but doing it very nicely. Just a thought.
So I guess
the strategy worked because I didn't answer her messages or her
Exactly.
calls. She shows up at the office.
Yeah. And poor Harriet takes the blame.
Harriet's fine. She's got her own thing going on.
She can handle it.
She can handle it.
Yeah. So the next one was that touch of mink.
I didn't like stumbling over my lines.
Well,
That's the story.
we didn't have,
I know.
It was hardly
what
notable.
it came down to is we had 10 minutes to rehearse it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the time
But
we
I-
got it together.
I love the story though. And
Yes.
it's the first and only time I'm sure I'll ever have a fur coat on too.
So that was just a loner?
Yes. I have good friends.
Okay. All right. Well, it's recorded, so you'll be able to see yourself in it again.
So how soon can I show it at work?
Probably next week. Because I want to add credits to it, make sure everybody gets their credits for each one.
Okay. But I do enjoy doing this with you. I mean, really for me, it's like opening up a whole new door, a whole new chapter
Yeah.
for me, but I don't like stumbling. So
Mhm.
I just have to keep practicing.
Yeah. It's just like I
Hey,
said.
don't
we only had
don't
10
worry
minutes.
about it. I mean, our group, we hadn't seen the script until today, and Stephen sent it, emailed it to us. I mean, none of them are going to be perfect, but they were the ones watching you guys. Well, we had fun practicing, but watching the other two performances were both hilarious. They were great.
I know, but I'm not an actress, so I was trying to make it really good.
Did very well.
Not your money. So.
It's like my second time at it, but it's a lot of fun for me. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
It was a good part for you also.
yes, I totally, I totally enjoy pampering myself.
Oh my God, you were having so much fun. I was just
Oh, yeah.
enjoying watching you.
I just
with
kept
you
feeling me.
embodied.
Yes.
Really
Thank
lovely.
you.
I don't know. The star of that scene was the zombie mink coat. I think that was an unexpected turn.
I had plenty of time to prep for it, so yeah. I like to really feel the part.
So Tim, have you performed before? Because you're primarily a writer, right?
I'm a writer, but I went to theater school, so
You did a
I
bit
did
of
my
everything.
time.
Yeah, it worked very well. I like that.
Thank you.
Now, on the Interloper, was I wrong? Was it three brothers? I had
Three
forgotten.
brothers. Yeah.
3 brothers and a ghost, and an interloper anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out. So who directed it?
I did.
Paul Carpenter. Paul.
Good. Good.
It was amazing. I just, I have a writers group at Disney, and they did a reading of it at a table, but it was just a bunch of writers, and so
Yeah.
they're not actors. So hearing it in your voices made it sound so authentic, and it just, I mean,
know,
it's
they
really what I
got
heard.
their accents very, very well, all three of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really.
Well, and you did a great job of the ghost because you never looked directly into the screen. You were always just kind
I
of.
was looking at my script on the side of the screen.
But it worked. But it worked so well. You just looked like this kind of disembodied, lost wherever.
Well, that was Paul's direction.
Yeah.
And Caroline's inspired realization of it.
Kept missing my cues for going in and out, but anyway, I think it worked in the end. I'm not
But
quite
it
sure.
worked well.
Very good.
If it was a ploy of convenience, it was a good one. You wouldn't have had to own up to that,
I want to ask the writer if it really was a ghost or if it was a bit of an ectoplasm or somebody playing a bad joke.
I just wanted to write a revenge murder horror
Mm,
scene, like Hamlet's father
yes.
coming to him and saying, "Oh, avenge me," and
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
what would
I
that
was thinking that.
in the world of Zoom? What would that look like?
Yeah.
Well, and it's got a bit of
Remember
an
me.
ambiguous ending too, because in the end, when I forget the Paul's character's name, but
Jake.
Jake, when Jake wants to take the father, in the end, I don't know if he's being a good guy or if he's taking him in
If
order
he's got
to.
plans to take him out to the lake and do what the father did to the mother.
Exactly,
I'm
yes.
wondering about that too.
Well, Paul Euler, isn't there a line that it goes something like, I'll treat him or I'll give him what he deserves, something like that?
Not quite. I don't.
Isn't there a line like that, Tim?
I'll take care of him.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, and you know that.
That's said, I guess.
Yeah,
That
that's a double entendre. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul,
So
Paul,
they-
actually, our director was asking them if they actually believed if it was their mother or not, which was a good question to ask before we actually started. After having read it through, whether the three brothers believed that it was a mother or not.
And I think Paul Euler's character was Rory. Was it Rory?
Jake.
Jake.
Okay. I think Jake believed it more than the other two.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I was trying to represent myself as a man of science and learning, and that these things don't happen. But my heart told me it was. My head was saying, no, can't be.
Can't be, yeah.
That's great.
And David's character just didn't seem like, hey, count me out of this. You know?
Help me out. I'm getting back to my music.
Did you get booted at one point, David?
Yeah, I think my internet cut out, and I was like, "Fuck!"
Were there some lines missed in there? Did Jake and Roy cover that, or did you cover?
We filled in as best we could, and that was one of the things I was interested in knowing how the audience reacted. Did you notice that we were caught a little flat-footed?
No, I'll be honest, I thought he was just not wanting any part of it. And so he just disappeared for a bit and then kind of came back in once the Spectre, was hearing.
Jules, do you have to go?
Yeah.
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 Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much, Jules. It was great.
good
Thank
to
you for
meet
being
you
our
guys.
director also.
Yeah,
Think we'll do it again next month.
Thank
Send
you,
us some sunshine.
thank you,
and warm
Stephen.
weather.
I know.
Organizing. Thanks, Tim, for writing
Bye,
that.
guys. Stay safe.
Yeah. That was brilliant. I really
Enjoyed
enjoyed
that.
watching
Thank you.
it.
Jules has a part in a web series that's a reboot of Star Trek.
Oh, really?
wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's what she's been working on for a while.
Okay. Excellent.
What series?
She's told me the name of it, but I can't recall. But it's
Ongoing or it's from the past?
it's brand new, ongoing. It's all different characters.
Wow. Oh.
Huh. Because there's so many restrictions now on what they can do for Star Trek, what you can do outside of the franchise. Very
Yeah,
strict.
I think it's guerrilla zooming. They're not being too concerned about being sued, or they're kind of under the radar, I think.
May, may I ask a technical question, and maybe I'll direct this even to Paul? Just in watching the performance, were you reading your script from the same computer of your computer? Did you have it uploaded there? I'm just, as far as where your eye line is, I'm just trying to learn for myself with this new way of doing scenes. I just noticed that it just felt so real as far as where your eye line was on Zoom. So
Which of the two Pauls are you asking?
You're right. You're both Pauls.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where were you reading your script from? Were you reading it from a side device, or were you reading it directly from the same computer that you're looking right now at?
I personally was reading it from a second iPad.
Oh, okay.
And the
How
other
about you, Paul?
I was reading it. I was reading it on my screen here,
Okay.
and then that my camera is just above the screen.
Okay.
If
Yeah, I did the same, just as far as so that I'm not looking down, but to have an eye line.
right.
Just
Yeah.
trying to see how that was working. Thank
That's
you.
why we sometimes suggest but then again, it depends on the size of your screen, is putting the script on one side of the screen, and then you just have a little strip of the Zoom on the other side. So you're not focusing on the Zoom, but you're really just looking. Because if you have it in front of you, it's like you're talking to those people anyway. So it's just the opposite of filming, where they tell you, don't look into the camera, don't look into
Yeah.
Here, they kind of, it works better if you're looking directly into the camera.
I heard Judi Dench say just recently she was in a Zoom play of some kind, and she said it was very disconcerting for her to see all of the actors
Yes.
at the same time. She said it was very disturbing to her because she said on the stage it's not that way. You don't see everyone's face.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So did anyone actually see that web series? I thought it was brilliant. It was Martin Sheen and I've forgotten. But basically the actors playing themselves, being furloughed on COVID, not knowing what to do, taking the dog for walks, squabbling with neighbors, but they're big name actors and they're showing supposedly their private lives. It was
no, I'd
hysterical.
like to see it though.
Yeah, so would I.
never-
That sounds lovely. Do you know what it's
Where
called?
it is?
I've forgotten. If let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Okay.
But then again, you can pin the partner that you're talking to. That's another way if she didn't want to see everyone's faces. I think you can pin.
Yeah, but she's probably not familiar with the Zoom. That's the trouble. We're all beginners.
Yeah, each actor can pin the actor that they
Oh, really?
were talking directly to, and then
Maybe
that's
she
all they
wasn't.
see is that person.
Maybe she wasn't told that, or it wasn't explained to her. So
But then it only works if it's like a two-person thing, and it's
yeah, dialogue. Yeah.
fun,
Mm.
I'm going to be bold enough to ask. And again, we just got the script, but was I overacting?
No.
I didn't think so.
Okay. Because I'm just saying sometimes on this, it's just different when you're live and then you see it on screen. And
You were very good balance. You and Gwen worked very well.
Had me convinced. I mean, you sounded very natural in the role that you were doing to me.
Yeah.
So the name of the series is Staged.
Staged. Okay, that's easy to
Right.
remember. Thank you for that.
And I did have a note. Gwen, I don't know if it was your virtual background or what, but you were blurring quite a lot.
You may have
And
to their internet speed.
yeah, so
No, it's not my internet speed because I have super high speed for gaming. It's I may need to get a new webcam. It's
that would be
it's
it.
an older webcam.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you for that. I will redouble my efforts. I mean, that it was noticeable enough that somebody commented on it.
Well, the only issue with Paul Carpenter is your virtual background was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I tried at some point to try to do that, and it made it worse. So I said, forget it.
Yeah. No, my background is a real background.
Erudite for your character.
Yeah, it was a nice lead up to the interloper coming in.
Yeah.
So, any of you going to want to do it again?
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
I would love to do this.
I too. I just want to be as good as everyone else, so I will just keep practicing. I had a lot of fun now.
Well, again, so we've got a month now to prepare for it. So I'm hoping we can get some scripts in advance, and then we can start posting what actors we need on the Facebook page. Have all of you become a member of that Facebook Play Readers group?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to check if I actually did.
Yeah, that's in the morning.
Then we'll connect again. Next month.
Just a heads up. I don't know who are SAG members here, but you get. I just realized that we have these. If you're a SAG member, you can watch screenings of the movies. As far as for the SAG Awards. So that's what my next Zoom is. that I'm going to be watching Judah and the Black Messiah. But I'm just letting you know that if you are, that you have access to that to watch some of the screenings that are going
It's
on.
good to know, but I'm not a SAG member.
If you're
Nor am I. I'm a bona fide
are
amateur.
there any issues with us recording your performance?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, not that I'm aware of, but to be honest with you, I've been on freeze for a long time. I moved out of LA and I just came back. So I just reactivated it, but not that I'm aware of. No, not unless there was like a profit. No, there
Okay.
isn't.
Okay.
There shouldn't be.
That's my understanding as well, that if this is not for commercial purposes, anything goes. And don't tell me otherwise, because I'd rather not know.
Okay, Tim, have you got another script to bring in next month?
No, but you guys are inspiring me. This was really great.
Great.
That's right. Another
I really,
right.
I enjoyed you being my son, but I also enjoyed your story. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at her. Bless her. Sweet.
Birthday, Stevie-O. Can you say
Adorable.
hi?
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for keeping this going. I really am happy I showed up today and to meet all of you. That was a lot of fun.
Nice
Thank
meeting you
Excellent.
too.
And David, can
you.
let the rest of the actors at AWS know about it? Maybe we'll get more actors.
I'll make a post in the Actors Mastermind group, so I'll let
Okay.
you know.
Maybe we'll get some writers from there also.
Yeah. Excellent.
Where's the mastermind group out of, David?
It's pretty much members of Actors Workout Studio. Have you ever studied over there at the Actors Workout Studio? In
No,
North
I
Hall?
haven't.
Mommy, what? Mama,
Yeah, it's a mastermind group that consists of people that study, and that's how I met in.
Oreo.
You got an Oreo. You lucky girl. I wish I had an Oreo. Can I
Yeah,
share?
Even though I'm in Connecticut, I'm still a writer in residence at the Actors Workout Studio in North Hollywood.
Are you
Oh,
up?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I'm just getting back in. So just good to hear all these resources. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
they're doing their acting classes online.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I've been taking the acting classes the last couple months, and it's literally like taking a class in person. The only thing is you can't touch somebody and you can't smell them. That's pretty much it. Other than
And
that,
you haven't found it interfering with the Meisner technique?
no, not at all. And Fran and the other coaches there, they have done a phenomenal job, because like when they first started doing that, like around March, April, I'll admit I was hesitant. I didn't want to do it because I was like, I was waiting for things to open back up, but clearly things, haven't opened back up, and I got to do something. And so doing it, 1 month, I really liked it. And then doing it, I'm going into my third month doing it, and I fucking love it. It's therapy.
Wow. I did Meisner in San Francisco. It's been a very long time. I'd like to revisit that. Do I just go to Actors say that again? The Actors Workshop Studio?
Actors Workout Studio in North Hollywood. Here, I can just write it down in the chat for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like Meisner class, Actors Workout Studio.
Yeah. No, it got me really raw. Too raw.
And
And then going out into San Francisco, I was just like,
Yeah, and then that's Fran Montano. He's the creative. He's the founder. He's really good friends with Rene Russo. They actually studied together under Edward K. Martin in the 80s, and he's been teaching for like 35 years. He's a total pro. All of my acting blocks, all of my bullshit that I had, he hacked that and stripped me down of all that, and I'm really grateful for him. He's really good.
And Tim, if you're interested, they have the writers workshop where they give writers assignment to meet with the actors from the Actors Workout Studio to write a script for those actors they've been assigned, and then they workshop them during the Actors Workshop, and it's and of course now it's all online. But when we were actually doing it in a physical theater, some of those scripts that were written in the workshop were actually produced on stage in the theater. So it's an opportunity. And it doesn't cost anything for the writers.
Hooray.
That's good.
That's good.
oh,
Do they have a time limit? Do they like 10-minute pieces, or does it matter if it's?
They've usually been 10-minute pieces, but I've actually been bringing in a feature-length script 10 minutes at a time.
Hmm.
So but it's a good way to get feedback because they invite the actors from the studios to come into the workshop and perform the pieces.
Oh, great.
Hear, what works and what doesn't work. And then there's like a brief critique period afterwards where we get the feedback.
Mhm.
All very positive.
Very good.
And I just put in a chat.
Go and get a
You're all
pen.
welcome
Right.
to join or attend the group that I host. We also meet once a month, generally first or second week on a Sunday evening. It's on Facebook, Valley Screenwriters plus Readers group.
Oh yeah, I remember your email about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Our
Thank
next
you.
meeting, February 7th.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm going to
Love to see you.
excuse myself. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Need to
Guys,
run.
have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Thank you, guys.
So is everybody else ready to head out?
Can you
Yeah,
stay
that'd
on
be
so the family, they want to say hi?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Hi, Uncle Bob.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi and goodbye.
Nice meeting everyone. Hope to see you again.
Oh, so cute. You're a handsome bloke, you are.
I feel like me and you are living in the same world.
Anyway, thank you for organizing this.
Yeah,
Stephen.
thanks, Stephen. That was
Thank you,
great.
Stephen.
And I'm hoping that Henry will join us next time.
Excellent. All right. Goodbye,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you, all of you. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you.
Look forward
Bye.
to next time. Bye.
Bye.